Hello, sweetie. How are you? Okay. How about now? They have Lowe's stock. No, I only want that thing. That's all. Thanks for checking. Yep, I'll do that. Okay, bye. Come on, camera. There we go. Hopefully that's not going to migrate down. We shall see. How's that? Working? Good? Good, good. Okay, so here's our failed spring. It appears to have broken in simple bending. So I'm going to pull this clutch master, then I can pull the whole pedal box. And perhaps we can fabricate a suitable replacement. Oh shoot, the clutch master is held in by its rod, which means I could pull the pedal. That might be the best plan. Lol. These are kind of interesting nuts because they're a little taller, like an MGB intake manifold nut. It's always interesting to see what the factory choices are on these. So this car was put together with factory 4-speed stuff. Even though these cars never came to the US with this factory 4-speed kit. This one was retrofitted in the US using parts from the dealer. Okay, so can we get the clutch pedal, etc. out? This is where I used something different. So half inch. Ouch. Okay, so I didn't have the proper clevis, so I took a bolt like so and cross drilled it for a pin, shortened it so that we would be activating only on the shank portion. It's easier to see here. Only operating on the shank. There. Drilled it for a clevis pin. However, it's really difficult to get in there. So I put on this lock nut, nylock nut, and I used a grade 8 fastener in an attempt to get the shear strength I needed to activate the pedal reliably. Lol. Okay, so that gets me the clutch master out. Come on, you. Get out. Oh, there's some random... Forgot about that. And... Okay, so I think I can rotate this rubber line. Something. Some kind of freaking line here. I think I'll just sit there. Good. I should pull this pedal. And it's interesting to note that these pedals are the clevises for the pedals are installed using a quick disconnect clip that I haven't seen before. Even the XJ6 doesn't use that, and I guess it's because of the severely constrained positioning of this pedal attachment. So here we go. Quick clip. Come on, you. What is up? Back. My goodness. Come on. Maybe this is good to pop this out anyway. Lubricate it. One trick to get these things off of here is using a pair of needle nose pliers in a different way. God, that thing is really stuck in there. Okay. This will be a good opportunity to get this assembly all cleaned up, just in case it doesn't want to come friendly like. My goodness, again. Jiminy Christmas. What the heck? This doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna destroy it. got now? There we are. Okay, so maybe this whole thing will come out now. Yes, excellent. Now we move to the bench. Okay, so bench time. How should we do this? Okay. I gotta tighten that. Still falling. If that's tight enough, then it won't continue to drop. No. Try this deal, see if that'll hold it up. I guess I can go around. It's a little bit silly. Okay. Great. What? My phony. Here it is. Okay. All right. Macro bin for cleaning. Okay, these hydraulic parts can be bagged. That is kind of garbagey. I don't think we're actually going to use these. No, no, yes, yes, likely no, no, plus a bunch of other stuff, probably not. But until the car's done, it's imprudent to simply jettison things that we think we won't use unless they're obviously broken and unusable. Okay. Good, good, good. Get these out of here. Oh, acetone, that might be helpful. Okay, great. All right. Apparently this was used in the Omni black paint. It's always interesting what kind of metallic spikes get attached to these magnets down here. I'm always a bit treacherous to touch them even with gloved hands. So we'll get some of it off. .91% IPA is better for concentrated grease areas. Not as good as 100%, but good enough for most stuff. Inevitably, there will be a few spots that aren't touched by the 91, and you can use lacquer thinner on those spots. Great. pop the booster off because it's not necessary yet. I'll pop the spring clip off. Boy. Spring clip, washer, clevis. Great. Kind of a cute little way they did this. Pretty easy actually to deal with. Okay. Alright, that'll go away for a minute. Alright, so looks like there is a pedal return spring on this guy. Probably need to pop this off and clean this whole thing up. That's a pretty simple spring, and it looks similar to other springs that I've seen in this area. Alright, so no washers, just a bronze bushing. So that's great. I'll go ahead and just put this together. Take it out to the cleaner. Maybe we'll clean it separately. Wow, that was a new pedal that they acquired for this conversion. Oh, these are different pedal pads. That's been welded. I wonder if that's factory. Huh. Okay. I'll take this out and be right back. the clutch pedal. So looking at this clutch pedal, I realized that the whole top has been welded. And I guess that's probably because in the UK, where these parts were sourced, there would not be available a left-hand drive clutch pedal. So you'd have to go to Germany or France or somewhere in mainland Europe to obtain a left-hand drive clutch pedal. And since all the sourcing for the project was done in the UK, I don't think we had any sources on mainland Europe that were readily able to supply parts for such a rare setup as the XJS V12 with the manual tranny, because they only made, I don't know, I think it was fewer than 1,000 with that setup in total. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that anybody who is willing to spring out 10,000 pounds, 9,000 pounds for a luxury touring, well, it's really a sedan coupe, that they would not be interested in rolling their own gears on the continent. They'd be going to the Autobahn and wanting to be enjoying a comfortable drive with minimal work at high speed. So the General Motors 400 transmission was the right choice for those types of environments. All right, so here we see the failed spring portion. But that's really greasy solvent. It's going to need a refresh here as soon as the MGB's done. Okay. All right, those are the two legs that hang down. You can see the failure is simple bending. The undersides of these legs, I don't know if it's possible to tell, but they are broken. Here's the accompanying central portion, which sits about like so and bears down onto the lever right there. That little notch bears inside of here, which does that have an Omer camming function? This doesn't look, something looks wrong about this. Oh, it's backwards. No wonder. Okay. All right, so here we are with the clutch pedal, and it pushes the rod up for the slave or the master cylinder, but what the heck, there's no clearance for that spring. This isn't right. This isn't right at all. There's no way to drive that spring from such a proximate position without overbending it. Okay, let's see, the correct orientation for this, according to the way it was put together, is like that, which means it was, let's put a pivot in there. Okay. All right, so yeah, that's like 15 millimeters between the center of that steady pin and the yoke, which grabs the middle of the spring. Well, it's no wonder it broke. It was totally overstressed. What was it doing in here? And it doesn't go like this, right? Or does it? Let's see. No, that's not it. It had to have been installed in this orientation, which I don't see how you get. No, that's just silly. It's got a scrape along the bottom there. This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to bring the other camera over. Okay, let's stick this in here for a minute. How's that? Okay. All right, so if this pedal is zeroed about right there, shoot, we've only got 15 millimeters of clearance to the top of the housing, or the underside of the housing. So the sweep is, well, let's see what the sweep is. On the master cylinder, the zero position is about 85 millimeters. So from here, it's about 85 millimeters is the pin. So, let's see, 85 millimeters to the center of that, about like so. So that's the zero position. Right there. that real quick. Okay, so that's the beginning of our travel. And the end of our travel is, without taking this apart, probably let's see, that's about 18 to center. So if I go 18 off of there, it's probably 50. So the end of our travel is about 50 millimeters, which is right there. So I'll put a little V there. Okay, so we need to account for rotational travel between 85 lengths of actuating rod to 50 length of actuating rod. And why is that thing off center? Holy fook, it's off center. Gosh darn it. That is a 6 millimeter lever, and this is a lever of 6.5 millimeters. Well, hopefully there's enough lateral give that that's going to be fine. We're not jamming the control rod into the side of the master cylinder. All right, let's see what we're going to do. Right then, as the Brits say. So from there to there. If we use this, which we should use this because we're actually over camming, which is what we want. I just don't like the fact that this wow, it's a really nice over camming pin. It over cams with this, so we could take advantage of that fact. We need a compression spring that will give us let's see, the length of that spring. Okay, so let's take a look at the lengths that we've got to work with here. So between the overcamming pin and the not any convenient way to do this where both angles can see. This will just do it like that. Alright, so length 1 is approximately right there. About like that. Length 1 is 26 millimeters. Okay, so we'll go. Well, this is actually up there, but 26 millimeters is position 1. Not to scale. And position 2 is there. Should be less if we're going to overcam correctly. I better check that first one again. It's not really anymore. Darn it. I want the up position of the pedal to be about 20% more than the bottom position so that we don't over spring the foot down position and make brake or clutch bleeding overly difficult. That is if we push at the back of that recess here, it's going to be 26. Dang it. And at the front of the recess, oh, it is less. It's way less. Measure twice. $23. No, it's a little less. Yeah. 22. So 22 to 26 is 4 more. It's 20%. Okay, I like it. So that's pedal up position. Pedal down position. Is 22. Millimeters. All right, so we need a spring who's got a compressive resistance and has as its endpoints a decent amount of pressure at 26 millimeters, as well as a minimum central or pedal central travel length of about that, or 17 millimeters, 16 or 17. So we'll put an intermediate position here. Let's see, is this making sense? This will be just right there. The highest point is 17 to there. All right, so the spring is when the pedal is off. Let's say pedal off. We're at 26. This is pedal depressed. At fully depressed, we're at 22 millimeters, and 17 is in the middle. And the height of this over the body, the center of that over the body is 7 3/4, 7 1/4. So we'll say 7 millimeters. So that's it. 17 millimeters minimum distance, 7 millimeters distance from the center of that fixed pin to the underside body of the clutch housing, pedal box, and from 22 to 26 millimeters of travel with some pressure left over at the top. All right. Here's random wonky spring that I found. When this one is compressed, it's tends to open itself. And it's significantly less stiff. Oh wait, maybe not. It's got a smaller coil diameter. Okay, so if I wanted to use this one, well, first of all, it doesn't fit, so that ain't great. That may not work at all, because it's so wide. Wonder if there's a way I can narrowify it. Okay, if I did make it narrow, then it would be pushing here. I kind of like it sitting on that pin, actually, because it's going to definitely hold it in place. The only thing is I don't know if I can get that far away from it. What if I went the other way? No, that doesn't work. Although, no, that doesn't work, because the two legs really need to be touching to the bottom of the pedal box, the top of the pedal box. So let me just capture this in an image, and then we'll see how sad this was. Oh geez, what a train wreck. What the heck was supposed to even happen here? That was the max point, which is over this. How the hell did they do this without putting the spring inside? I think the spring needed to actually go around that pivot, and yet they didn't do that if they were to use the spring successfully. The spring might have actually worked had it been set in there properly. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. So, it's totally wonky. So just a quick primer on the way clutch pedal return springs worked in days gone by and the way that they work now. The energy that is put into the spring when the pedal is up all the way, the pedal's at the midpoint of its travel, and when the pedal is at the lowest point of its travel, the energy that's stored in the spring is, oh, I guess I'll do it by force. So the resistance of the spring, for a conventional spring, it goes like this. We'll do it as pedal effort. So pedal effort goes up linearly with a conventional spring, like a car from the 1970s or prior. With a modern car, pedal effort actually is something like that. Nope. The tail is up. Like so. Not that other thing. Where the over-camming action of the spring yields a benefit to the driver. And that's achieved by, maybe I can overlay the spring force on top of this. Maybe I can't. Let's try a new graph. Pedal effort, spring, this is the return spring, force. And again, the same x-axis. So the spring force is low here, it's high here and a little bit off there. So the curve in this is like so, and it, when you add it to the clutch pressure plate return spring force, which is linear, you get a summary graph that looks like so. So if you're trying to bleed one of these cars and you have the hydraulic line open, this is a modern car. Green is modern. And the old car is black. It used to be the case that the pedal spring, return spring force would just go like that. And the pedal effort went like that. But drivers didn't like that, because it required so much effort to hold the clutch in traffic. So the over-camming spring actually will hold the pedal all the way down for you, absent the return force that's provided by the pressure plate in the bell housing of the clutch. So if you try to bleed a car that's modern, the pedal will stick to the floor once you open the hydraulic system and press on it. But that's only for service techs to do, so they know that that's going to happen. But when you tighten the hydraulic system up again, you get a relief at the very end, so you can hold the pedal down in traffic. And that's what we want for here. And it looks like this pin is allowed to set us up with that sort of a function. Over-camming, this being the highest point of force, and then a little bit of a reduction in force, which actually drives the pedal the other way. It completes the depression of the pedal for you, because it's energetically more advantageous for the pedal to keep pressing itself down. But in combination with the pressure plate, that's not really the case. It just feels that way. You feel this lessening, this approaching an asymptotic pressure, as opposed to an old car, which was way the heck up here and very difficult to press. Okay, so we need to make something that fits that profile, that force profile. Now I could do it with this guy if I can figure out a way to shorten this leg up and bring this together, and make sure this thing stays engaged. So as a compression spring, this guy is got only a little bit of play in it, which might be alright because it's really freaking stiff, but if I can get it to behave, it might work. The critical piece is going to be the angle at which these legs need to bend and curl around that post. I think they need to be there. I don't know. And the first thing I need to do is shorten this guy up, because it's way too wide. So let me look for another spring and see what I got. There's something, but it's asymmetric. Huh. That might work if it doesn't flip over or do some weird business. And I can't guarantee that it wouldn't. Okay, here's another version. Another copy of that same spring. Wonder what that was for. Oh, you know who's got one? Is that XJ6 outside. They probably have a spring that looks more like the brake pedal spring. Oh, the brake pedal spring is just a linear press because we don't want any overcamming function on the brakes. Okay, so that's not going to work. Of course, on the E-Type, I took this old Triumph spring and I fabricated a mount and a pivot, and it actually pivots in cams. Like, it pivots like this. It's a compression spring and it's adjustable for pedestal position, so you can vary the amount of spring assist in the clutch, but I don't have all that time. And in fact, I don't think I have that much room. I only have 17 plus 7 millimeters, 24 millimeters to go, and on the E-Type I made one that was much longer so I could get a better action. Alright, what do we have in this bin? These so-called torsion springs are... Huh. That would perform the function, but it's way too weak. Gives a good idea of what's needed, though. So, energetically, this is going to have a return force here and a compressive force there. So, energetically, this is what we're looking for. But geometrically and stiffness-wise, no way. I wonder if I could repurpose one of these coils as a suitable actor in this space. I'd have to roll the legs out. Oh! No, it's a simple wind. I have to use this counter-wound spring. Okay, so it's going to be down to modifying one of these two, or both of them, to play with it until I can get something right. I don't know what these came off of. Alright, so my first go is to narrow this down, and right now it's 48 millimeters, and I need to go to 34. So I need to whack a whole 14 millimeters off it within the space of 30 millimeters. So I need to cut this down by half, at least. More would be better. And if I can increase the distance from this fulcrum at the same time, maybe I could actually latch the spring onto the pin. So the spring itself would then, what would it do? I don't know. This is not really the optimal way to over-center that. From there to there. It might work. It's kind of pressing. I don't know. I don't know if I could do it that way. This way seems better. Yeah, it definitely does. So let's see if I can tighten this guy up. I need it to shrink by 50%, or at least 15 millimeters, maybe a few more. And then I just don't know how I'm going to avoid breaking it. Let's see. Okay, so this thing needs to sit down on top of that, which is about 5 millimeters wide. And then what? Crap. Five millimeters. Sounds like about 2 of these, although that's a little more. It's 5 1/4. Fine. That works great. Really, it mustn't be tight anyway. So. Alright, so if this goes down, is there a way that it needs to go down? A specific way? I think the top needs to be right here. That'll be the top, right? As that thing sits in there, let's pretend we can get it to sit there. We can roll it over like that. That's the top, approximately like this. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Okay. Oh. Okay. So if that's the top, and I'm going to want to go like that-ish. Right? I think so. But I need to hit it with... I don't know how to do this. kind of need to straighten that leg out. So if I straighten the leg out and then put another bend in it right there, I don't have to have a complex bend. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to heat treat this thing properly. It's probably going to break. That's about 20 millimeters right now. So I do need to be longer. What if I just uncoil it? Oh, that doesn't get me the narrowing that I need to fit in the housing. And an overcamming spring should not be restrained by its core, because it's just going to slide and scrape. It really needs to only just touch the legs and the activating end. So in reality, this coil has to move in between the pivot down there and whatever the actuating groove is, which in this case has a minimum distance of 17 millimeters. Well, the coil itself is probably 12. Shoot, the coil is 16 just by itself. Yeah, that's not going to work. How the heck is this supposed to work? What if I did it this way? Nope. I better inscribe on this where we're going. This is too confusing. Okay, so from the side view, what the heck? Where's my mark? Right there. So that is the first position. Okay. Okay, first position, right? There, and yep. Second position, right there, or right here, right there, and yep, okay. All right, so here are the two positions that we need to account for, and that distance should be about 22. If my parallax isn't screwing me up too hard. Okay, 22. Oh, lols. No way. And that one's supposed to be 26. Lols. That's about 22. What the hell's wrong with my measurements?
Oh, it is.
This is the parallax problem, Oscar.
Really?
Mm-hmm. What's up, man?
How much?
Did I do this backwards? No. So I've got a problem where I have a broken clutch pedal return spring, and I'm trying to design a new spring assembly that will go in. You can see the old one here. Look at that fracture. Check out how that broke.
Wow.
Now that's where you just bend a spring back and forth, and it fractures along that line in the middle. Pretty cool looking fracture. Well, it's repetition is what does it.
It's a lot of repetitions.
Okay, looks like my second position was off, so it's actually a little further out this way. What's up with you?
We just got back from the store.
And?
Went around. Turns out Fry's is closed forever.
Closed forever, baby. They got Amazoned out of existence.
Yeah. And then... what's it called? We went to Lowe's, Target. Came back and we went a little over the back way. Saw a bit of the lake, Lake Washington. Went around, went to grocery outlet.
It's really close.
And we went to called Plum Delicious. Checked out the little damage there.
How's it looking, by the way?
Not too bad. Then we.
Okay, that's better.
Oh, and then I saved the dog.
From?
It was running around the road.
In the road.
In the road, and I went and I grabbed it. And then there was a lady running around with 2 dogs, just running around, looking around. I was like,
What do you mean? This was her 3rd dog?
yeah, 3rd dog.
A lady dog
I was
owner.
like, yeah, that's mine.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I don't really care.
You do. That's why you were rescuing the dog from running in the road.
Yeah, I had to get my brownie points for the day.
Well, that's the right thing to do, but unfortunately that woman...
That dog is not going to get taken care of. It's going to be neglected. It's not right.
Well, the data says neglect. Although it is
She cared
just
enough about it, it
1
wouldn't have gone
point.
out.
I still can't get this to be over 22. I guess I need to go to the back.
Yep, I'll go to the back.
Well, anyway, this is just approximate. Where's
Brakes on that car are
26?
so weird. The Silver XJS.
Yeah, so that car has a really weird style of anti-lock braking system that was made for a few years and nobody else, not even Jaguar, uses that style anymore. It actually uses a pump. When you press on the brake pedal, you're requesting the pump to deliver power. The pump does the work, you're just asking it to do the work for you. It's really an interesting system. It requires all sorts of extra energy to build up pressure and hold it in reserve in a tiny little accumulator tank for whenever you want to press on the brake. Then it will release some of that pressure and pump massive amounts of fluid back up to pressure to keep that reserve tank full.
How fast does it refill it?
Well, as fast as you can pump the brakes, it should always be able to refill it, plus a little bit faster.
Good. Supposed to.
But modern systems, instead of... Don't shake the people at home. Modern systems instead bleed off pressure for their ABS. So you do all the work of creating the pressure with a hydraulic assist or a pneumatic assist like that booster unit I'm installing. And then it bleeds off the pressure according to computer.
Just put in a 30 psi turbo.
So check this out. This is the thing I'm replacing.
What do you think about a 30 psi turbo?
What does your mom think about a 30 psi turbo?
It'd be pretty bitchin'.
I can't even press it. Can you press that in? Don't press on this plastic piece though, please.
I don't know. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, well,
Like that?
well, I mean,
Probably a lot more than that.
yeah. But anyway, there's vacuum applied to that red thing, and it sucks the pedal. So this is the regular brake pedal. So it's got it's about a 5-inch travel to where your foot goes on it, which is about an 18-inch. So let's do it in metric. 12 to 48.
48 centimeters.
So what's the ratio here? 12 to 48. What is that? What's the
Well,
ratio?
that'd be a 4 ratio.
A 4-to-1 ratio. So with your foot, which already is way stronger because it's attached to your leg, and you have a 4-to-1 boost provided by the lever, that's why you can't press that thing down.
Baby.
Okay, don't mess with the person at home. Oh my gosh.
Is somebody watching?
I don't know.
No, nobody's gonna be watching, Dad. Nobody's at the house.
I'm gonna at the house. What do you mean?
Do you mean the Arizona house?
No, this is for everybody in the world.
Oh.
Are you having a live stream right now?
Yeah, I'm working. What's up?
I want to talk to you about a conversation with my dad. If that's private.
Okay. Okay, you discuss random things, Mr. Oscar, while I come back.
You can walk out in the backyard while I'm talking.
You're gone now. So, do you like titties? Maybe. I found this really funny post from my friend. Sure, Pokemon Go. Cruising Erica. You know. So it's pretty funny. Where is this? Trying to find where it is. Oh, here it is. Okay, so just like it's July now, so it's kind of illegal to be gay now. So stop, as you know, because it's very bad. Got some feet. Got a photo of some feet. So that's cool. Might want to sell those. This is my idol. He's got my haircut. Got the emo Phillips haircut. I don't know. Ooh. Yes, sir. So what are they doing? That? Oh man. Must have been back in June or something.
What are you telling the world?
Nothing.
Some random fun stuff?
Yeah, so I showed them the gay thing.
You did? Okay.
Pride Month's over.
Pride Month is over, that's right. Alright, so here's my approximate...
It's funny, the troops get 1 day, and Pride gets a month.
The troops get 1 day?
Yeah.
Okay. The best I can do is 25, and then this side is... The best I can do is 22. Okay, so that's good. Alright, so...
We got more LaCroix.
Don't mess with the people at home. Okay, come here. Would you help me determine to what extent you can envisage the problem and a solution? You like that? Those are cool kinds of springs.
They're dangerous, though.
All springs are potentially
well, I
dangerous.
mean, that's if you're stupid.
And kinetically dangerous. Alright, so here's the dealio. I need to provide compressive force between clutch pedal lever off and clutch pedal lever fully depressed. The compressive force is going to be applied with some respect to this pin, because I think that's what the pin's for. There's no other reason I can see for it to be here, and certainly it's got a couple springs hanging around it right now. Energetically speaking, when the clutch pedal is off, the spring force is low. Then it goes highest during the middle when the clutch is about midway down, and then it backs off a little bit, but it still presses hard when the clutch is pressed all the way down. And you see that there's kind of a downward slope to this. That means if you disconnect the hydraulic system and you just press the clutch pedal, it'll slam to the floor after it gets about halfway. Why do you want any spring pushing the clutch pedal down?
So you know that you haven't stopped too early.
I don't know. This is for the comfort and convenience of the driver. Think about the clutch in this V12.
So it's easy.
There you go. So it's easy. Now, when the clutch hydraulic system is all hooked up, it doesn't actually spring down and slam to the floor. But the spring is set up in a way that it compresses and then it relaxes a little bit as the clutch goes all the way to the floor. And that's the snapping motion that snaps it down if and only if the hydraulic system is disconnected. But once the hydraulic system is connected, there's a linear force requirement to disengage the clutch. And so the sum of all forces equates to, you press on the pedal a little bit, it gets harder, 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 and then about halfway, it doesn't get any harder. even though the clutch pressure plate is asking for more energy from your foot, the fact that you've got this overcamming spring providing a clutch assist means that you don't have to press extra hard, and it's easier to actually have the clutch in a full down position than in an intermediate position. So when you're in traffic, you don't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
Because traffic sucks with manual cars.
Normal.
So modern cars have an overcamming spring.
Normal cars are automatics.
Correct. And that's what we need to design is an overcamming spring system. It needs to go clutch pedal off 22 millimeters length, clutch pedal all the way down. Oh, I got it backwards.
Your cars don't shift themselves.
Clutch pedal off 26 millimeters of length, and then it compresses down to 17, and then it opens up again to about 22 millimeters. Now, the way that whoever put this one together did, it was way over squished, and it just broke after, what, fewer than 10,000 miles, because it was not set up correctly. Now, I don't think that was the factory way they set it up. It may have been the person that assembled this kit. They didn't understand the amount of rotational stress they were inducing in this spring, and it just ended up failing. Now, an interesting thing, this is called a torsion spring, because for the twisting that it does, a normal spring like this is called a compression spring, and a normal spring like this is called a what? It's not compression.
Decompression.
Sure, aka
called what is it called?
it's called tension.
Tension. Right. All I could think of was tensile and tactile.
Close enough.
Close but no cigar.
I think I'm going to take this out. Okay, I'm just going to bring that leg back up. All right, man. So now you're ready to do some stuff. You want to finish cleaning off that red bench and get that red bench cleaned?
The red bench?
Yeah, so there's a red rolling tray cart out there that has a bunch of tools on it. And those tools all need to be cleaned off and put in their proper spots.
I will do that, but there's two things I need to do before that.
Okay. And those tools that you cleaned in the solvent tank, good job. Those can, the ones that are clean can come out.
You saw it?
Well, yeah, I don't know that you cleaned all the sockets, but I had to use the solvent tank to clean these pedals. So, I saw that you had cleaned some stuff.
I got some Mexican Coke from Gio, which was all right. You know, Coke is normally my go-to.
Because you're young?
No, it's nasty.
It's your go-to because it's nasty?
No, it's not my go-to.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to go work outside.
Okay. Check in with me in 15 minutes, please. Do you have a timer to watch anymore?
I'm working on the backyard.
None of that modifies what I said.
Okay. All right, fine.
Do you have a timer watch?
Yeah.
Okay, come in 15 minutes, and I want to come out and praise you. I don't know if this is going to take way too long for its own good or not. taking a long time. I don't need that much oxygen. Oh. A little more. All right, see what we can do here. Okay. Oops. Fine, but it's not centered. Dang it, it's not centered. How do I fix that? Jimmy John's. Let's see. I guess I kind of want to bend that over a little bit. Okay. And then this way. Still not centered. What's up, man?
Where's the book? Oh, there it is.
That's 40. What did I say my distance was? 30 something or other? 34. I still got to come in more. I think I need to go that way. This is stupid. This doesn't seem like it's going to work. Okay. What's the chance this thing's not going to break? Jeez Louise. No, it's okay. Where are we at now? We're at 38. Dang it. It would need to be 34 at most, so it's got to be higher than that. Okay. Okay. Oh, geez Louise. Can't be overheating this thing and expecting it to survive. Alright, here we go. Final approach. Okay, now where are we at? 32. That's pretty good. Let's just whip these legs around. Let's whip this leg around here. Oh, I guess I'll use this one. Okay. All right, so where are we at? Two and a half. Out here, 33. So we have a millimeter left. Okay. So now, let us. Is that thing hot yet still? I need to provide an energetic minimum for the cradle, which I think I can do by restraining the center. And does this pin fit in there? Ouch. Burning myself? No. No, it does not. Okay, we're not going to do that anymore. Might fit in here. Let's see. Does this fit in there? Close enough. All right, you. Okay. It's not really the right size. Let's get something that is the right size. Shan't point the fire that way. Flaws. Okay, I'm going to stick this thing right there. Not elegant. Okay. So now, can I squeeze that down? Maybe. Got a bit of an energetic minimum there. Hopefully we don't just frickin' break that thing. We shall see. Probably need to oil quench it, I guess. This is my pseudo annealing process. Okay. I'm going to oil quench this pig. God damn it. That's not what we need to do. Burn a hole in the bench. Huh. Okay. Okay, what do we got? That's 15 minutes. Okay, let me come look at it. So, Let's see what we need to do. I wonder if the internet will tell us. How to quench a spring. And temper a spring. Dude, why does it seem like this is going to be dumb? Oh, come on. Get to the business, man. Dude, hurry up. Okay, so you go straw, blue, and then dark blue. All right.
Little really white black line right here has to get the coffee for the creation is on. And then we have another plane that we can adjust back and forth. And I'm using the option to adjust the use the center. So if we bring that tip, that middle plane all the way back, we're neutral, and we go a little further than we're oxidizing. So we want more carbon. So a pulverizing plane is one where we've got that middle plane out there, and stuff like that. So we've actually got a further environment now. Okay, so we're just gonna, this is the one that the tip was bit up by a little bit. We're gonna kind of concentrate on heating that area up first, and bend that. It doesn't take very long. Get this forward, and get it, bend that where it's right. it's, even though it's cool, it's still soft and pliable. I'll go around there a little longer than I did. Okay, we're going to hold it up against this spring that has the right contour to it, and it is absolutely perfect. I don't know if you can see that or not, but now we've got that set exactly where it needs to be. Now, the other part of this spring needs to be fixed up a little bit, and have to have a little bit of bend in the left. We're going to heat up that leg.
Okay, just hurry up.
And so, we're going to take this, we're going to go ahead and keep this up, try to get good and even all the way across, and then we'll punch it in this hydraulic oil right here. We'll concentrate some of the heat down here at the thickest part.
Okay, get to the quench, man. Excellent.
Okay, so there's one down. That spring now is extremely hard, but it's also extremely brittle. So that's where the tempering process comes in. We'll have to draw that back to a consistency that is still hard, but has some flex in it. At this point, if we put this in the gun and work that spring, it will just snap. It's about like glass. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the other one real quick, and then we'll get to the tempering process. Okay, so we've got two hardened blue color, and so we're going to get the set up here and medium as well for heat. And if you don't have never seen one of these, the color chart, it tells you temperatures of metal by the color of the metal, so it's very, very helpful. So we're just about at the temperature now, up to 600 degrees, so we want to get that kind of bright, the medium blue color. And so we're going to get the set up here and show you how we get these springs in the bottom, glue it up, and temper. Okay, so you see that kind of a pinkish color on top of the blue salts there? These are actually lighter blue salts. It's a little strange to think that something so pink actually turns something blue. If you can see, okay, here we've got our thermometer in here, and we're right at 600 degrees. So we're ready to dump these springs in here. What I've done is I just got these springs in this wire so that they're not going to touch the bottom, they're not going to touch each other and whatnot, and then thoroughly degrease them with acetone and then dry them off. One of the things you really have to be careful of with nitrogen salts is getting any kind of moisture in there. They'll just erupt those salts out of there and burn the heck out of you if you're not careful. So I'm going to put some gloves on real quick here, some safety glasses, and we'll dump those in. They should be good dry and whatnot, but it never hurts to be careful when you're working around these blowing salts. Okay, so here we go. We're going to dump them in. We're right at just a little over 600 now. And I'm going to cool it off just a little bit. We're just going to leave them in there for a little while. You know, more time doesn't hurt at all. In fact, the biggest problem is too little time. You can get it at the right temperature, get the right color, but if you don't keep it there for a little while, those molecules don't get rearranged and you don't get a good even temperature. Okay, we've had these in here for about 5 minutes now, a little more. Pull them out. Of course, you can't see real well because we've got all the stuff off the top of that, the gluing salts on. But looks like they glued up nicely. We're going to hang them here, let them air dry for a while and cool off, and then we'll come back and we'll scrub those off real good with water, and then we'll use some WD-40 to clean the water off of them so they don't rust up or anything. Okay, so now it's time to clean these things off. We'll just dump in the water a little bit, get the wire off of them. We'll get them cleaned up. It's just basically getting the gluing salts off of them. And we'll get that done. We'll get more left so we can clean it up, and they'll be good to go. They look like they're pretty light colored, the blue. You know, if we were actually going for color rather than just the temper, we'd leave them in there a little longer to get that fire blue look. But there's a chunk of gluing salt on the back there. Okay, so yeah, we just got kind of a real light blue color on there. And I'll set that one aside, get the second one right here. Of course, you don't want to do this right next to your niter pot, or you accidentally put a little drop of water in there and the whole thing blows up on you. Okay, so we're going to dry those off and hit them with some WD-40, and they're ready to go. Okay, so I went from having a couple of springs that were basically useless. You know, wrong with that contour. One of them, I'm sure the heat treat was on and then to a house fire. They have two useful springs now. And the moment of truth now is if we can flex these and they come back to shape and no break and no bend, then we know we got the heat treat and the temper right. So both these are doing that. And so if you've ever tried to find an knockoff spring for a set trigger gun, and these work in 73, 76, and 86, you know they're hard to come by, and if you can find them, they're about 75 $100 each. So by knowing how to heat treat these and temper them properly, we save ourselves 150 $200. So hopefully once something this is kind of enjoyable for me, until we get that other spring back in that 76 and get out there and do some shooting. Happy trails and some more.
All right, that was fun. So let's do steel tempering color chart. Springs need to be that blue. 590 to 650 Fahrenheit. Okay. I don't know if my gun goes that hot. So what we could do now is we're going to quench this sucker. And Oh, my poor tabletop. Oh well. Let's see. So this thing, does it work for us? Or I don't really think it does. I don't think it does what we want it to do. Let's see. If we put that on the bottom, are we going to use it in rotation? No, it's very tall now, and I don't know that it'll actually work. I may have made something that won't work for us. That would be unfortunate, but not unprecedented. So, let's see, we need, what do we need? I wonder if there's a way I can get that in such an angle that I can show the camera. Maybe this one. Let's try. Let's try this camera angle here.
Hi, Mr. Man.
How's it going, buddy?
So, there is your grandpa's horse thingy out there.
Horse thingy.
It's got a 1 HP electric on it.
Oh, that's for the, might be a joiner,
Where do you want that? Because I just need to like move it somewhere. Doesn't need to be permanent. So I could just blow stuff, like use leaf blow, better.
Well, if it's temporary, you could move it in the lawn while you blow stuff and then put it back.
Okay.
It'd be ideally going underneath the white canopy, but I don't know that I can do that right now.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
How the heck is this going to work?
There are root beers if you want.
Thanks, buddy.
Luncher.
I don't really think this thing can use the central retention unless, no, because it's over camming. I don't think it can. I think it's got to sit like this and then sit out here. Then when it goes back, oof, it's just so strange. I guess if it went around here and it tried to what we're doing is we're squeezing this down about like so. Oh, I forgot. I hadn't heat treated it yet. Okay, never mind. So now we'll look at number 2. What I need to do is I need to squish it. This whole thing may be abandoned. So 22 to 26, here's 24. It's right in the middle. Well, I guess 26, I still need a little bit of force on it. So maybe the free length is 28, 29. It's not really a lot. go 30. That's, let's go 20. 2.6 is 5 plus 26 is 31. I don't know. Let's go 29 and see if that's okay. Okay, so there's 29 millimeters. So if we go compression, how are we going to make that work? It looks like it'll work. If only I could make it a little bit narrower. I could probably make it work. What about if I ran these coils over this way? About like so. Then I still don't think that helps me. Hey, what about this spring? What if I just use this spring? Because it already has the cradle that's the right dimension. And it's already got let's see. It could be made to serve the powers of the Emperor. 26. 30. If I unwound it to that point, but the 17, that's the problem. You'd have to encounter 17 somewhere around here. Oh, I don't know. This whole thing might be a loss. That's really set up to put tensile force on stuff, not compressive force. Ugh. My selection of springs does not give me any great ideas. What's that? The side being 1. No. Well, let's look at this. How does it work? The coil itself is 15 large. So the coil would be able to pass, but I don't think it needs to pass there. Oh no. Oh, I'm losing patience on this thing. Got so many things to do on my list. Making a spring and having no certainty of final function is pretty gosh darn low on the priority list. I really don't think there's a way to weld this. No. Oh my goodness. It's a nice spring, but I don't think it's going to work. Well, why didn't they put a hole here instead? Because this pin deal is kind of wonky. If it had a hole, I could use it as a pivot. I don't know. I need to have some kind of spring on there, otherwise I'm just going to be riding carbon the whole time and destroying the throwout bearing. So it has to have some spring force. It would be a shame to put the old style on it, but if that's all that I can do, I'll have to do that. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so here is not pressed, and here is fully pressed. Not pressed, fully pressed. Not pressed, fully pressed. I just don't like that at all. I don't like it. Let's say it was a hole instead of a notch. What could I do then? Not really much more. I think designing the one for the E-Type was easier because I had more room here. We're going from 17 to 26 millimeters, and we only have a 7 millimeter distance between the base of that cross pin and the bottom of the pedal box. So I can't really go around that pin easily without jamming something. It's got to be in free space. It can't be pressing hard. It can't be pressing at all on the aluminum of the pedal box. It has to only press on the pin. Steel pin to steel pivot notch. That's all we can do. So I have to fold this in such a way that it reverses itself, or I have to braze a tube on there that acts as a pivot. Now if I go with the other side, this is just no good. And now it's 2 o'clock. Okay, so if we put a return spring, a conventional return spring on it, it would simply be a tension spring from there to somewhere back here. Oh, Jimmy John's.